Hello and good morning to one and all. Hope you have enjoyed your holidays happily. Some of you have went to your relative house, near and dear ones. So today we are going to start our classes. So please make your mind and come back to your classes. We have finished your holiday, so now you have to be serious enough so that you can study your lesson. So students, today we will start with the poem Wind, right? This poem Wind is written by Subramanya Bharati. Okay, Subramanya Bharati, and this poem is translated from the Tamil. This poem is a Tamil poem, and this Tamil poem was written by A.K. Ramanujan. So here two poets is included. One is Subramaniam Bharati and other is A.K. Ramanujan. A.K. Ramanujan first wrote the poem in the Tamil language, and this is translated into English by Subramanya Bharati, right? So before going to the poem, let's know about the poet Subramanya Bharati. Who is Subramanya Bharati? So Subramanya Bharati was a Tamil writer, poet also, journalist, Indian independence activist, and social reformer and polyglot. Popularly known as Mahakavi Bharati. He was a pioneer of modern Tamil poetry and is considered one of the greatest Tamil literary figures of all time. He was born on 11 December 1882 and died on 12 September 1921. Okay. He was the son of a learned Brahmin. Do you know what is Brahmin? You have got in your social science maybe Sudras, Brahman, the high caste. Yes or no? In Hindu we have a high caste, that is Brahman. So Bharati became a Tamil scholar at an early age. He received little formal education. However, and in the year 1904, he moved to Madras, now known as Chennai. So this Chennai, before it was known as Madras. So there he translated English into Tamil for several magazines and later joined the Tamil daily newspaper Swadesh Samathiran. This exposure to political affairs led to his involvement in the extremist wing of the Indian National Congress. Okay. So later he was killed by a temple elephant in Madras. So Bharati best known works include Kannan Pattu, Panchali Saptam, Panchali's Woe, and Kuil Pattu, that is Song of Kuil. Okay. Many of his English works were collected in Agni and other poems and in translation and essay and other prose fragments. So this was a brief introduction about Subramanya Bharati. So now let's have a brief introduction about A.K. Ramanujan. Ramanujan was a poet, translator, folklorist and philologist. He was born in Mysore, India. He earned degrees at the University of Mysore and Deccan College in Pune and a PhD from Indiana University. Ramanujan wrote in both English and Kannada, and his poetry is known for its thematic and formal engagement with modernist transcendentalism. Issues such as hybridity and transcolorization figure prominently in such collection as Second Sight, Selected Poems, and the Striders the collected poem of A.K. Ramanujan received a Sahitya Academy Award after the author's date. Okay, so as a scholar, Ramanujan contributed to a range of disciplines including linguistics and cultural study. His essay, Is There an Indian Way of Thinking, is the name of his essay. Is there an Indian way of thinking? Propose a notion of context sensitive, that is, thinking back in complex situational understanding of identity that differ significantly from Western thought, and it emphasizes on universal concept and structures. Okay. For much of his career, Ramanujan taught at the University of Chicago, where he helped develop the South Asian Study program. In 1976, the Indian government honored him with the title Padma Shri, the fourth highest civilian award in the country. So Ramanujan also received a MacArthur Fellowship, the South Asia Council of the Association for Asian Studies Award. Okay, right? The A.K. Ramanujan book prize for translation in honor of his contribution to the field. So this was a brief introduction about A.K. Ramanujan. So let's have a look at the poem Wind. So this poem Wind, I told you, is written by A.K. Ramanujan in Tamil and translated into English by Subramanya Bharati. So let's read out the poem. Have a look. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You were very clever at poking fun at the weaklings. Frail, crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. The wind, God, winnows and crushes them all. He won't do what you tell him. So, come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to form the body. Make the heart steadfast. Do this, and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. So, this is the poem Wind. So here, children, the first part of the poem describes the action of the wind. Okay. The poet asks the wind to come softly. So here, the first part, have a look. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You were very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Here, poking fun means making fun of something, right? Then weaklings mean a person who is weak. So, the poet is talking to the wind in this stanza. He asks the wind to come softly, gently. So, he is saying that the wind should not be very strong, should not be very loud. It should be soft and subtle. Then he says that the wind is very powerful. It is destructive. It breaks the shutter of windows and scatters the papers here and there. Okay. So when the wind is very powerful, all the books which we have kept on the shelf used to fall down. So here the poet is describing the power of the wind. Then he says to the wind to look at the destruction that it had done. Okay, so here the poet is talking to the wind to see what the wind had done after the destruction is over. So whenever there is a strong wind, all the things that are weak, like small plants, tiny children, etc., they all get scared, afraid, and they can even fall and get hurt. So we can say that in the initial part of the poem, the poet is referring to wind as a young child. He is saying that it should come softly, just like a small child. In the later part, we come to know that the wind is destructive, just like a youth, just like a young boy or a young girl who is full of energy, violence and destruction. So the poet is requesting to the wind to behave like a small child, not like a grown-up. Okay, so the wind should come softly and gently, not disturbing to anything else. So today we will stop here. We will continue in the next class. I hope you are clear, right? So if you have any problem regarding the explanation, if you have not understood, you can get back to me as per the schedule. Okay? Okay children, then take care. Have a nice day.